Probably, yeah. I don't really like to admit it, but I probably use a lot more technology than I actually think I do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I've got all the social media.
Yeah, definitely.
In a world where more people own a mobile phone than a toothbrush, is the world's addiction to technology becoming a problem? Social media has exploded over the past few years and has become a staple in everyone's lives, especially within youth culture. People have the ability to send messages everywhere around the world and create themselves a completely different online persona, creating content and racking up followers. Some people have become too dependent on these online lives and base their worth on the amount of likes and followers they have. 58% of smartphone users do not go an hour without checking their phones, and the average adult watches 3.5 hours of television a day. In our documentary, we will be investigating this issue and finding out what needs to change. We spoke to Bolly Binyakov, a media student and a social media pro, about how these online platforms have positively affected her life.
I have every single social media, as you can see here: YouTube, Google+, Tumblr, Twitter, what else? Facebook for myself, for personal use, and for YouTube, and a blog. I'm blog loving. Yeah, and I just deleted Pinterest because I don't see the use of it.
Would you say you're dependent on technology?
Yes, I do, because I have been working with a lot of bloggers and YouTubers as well, like using social media and technology. Yes, I go on my phone a lot. Like, I would wake up in the morning, checking my email first thing, and then social media next, before I even brush my teeth or have breakfast.
What do you want to do in the future, and how does this rely on technology?
At the moment, because I'm studying media production, I want to become a director. And this is kind of like a basic practice for me to kind of create my own content and practice with the editing styles and get other YouTubers as my inspiration to how I should make my videos.
Focusing on your YouTube channel, what first encouraged you to make videos?
My friend, honestly, she is also a YouTuber. First we met on a blog when I was like 16 as well, and now we're like best friends. And I always go to her when I have any problems, and we met through a blog, and because she started YouTube, and she said it helped her get through so many things. And I tried it, and it did help me gain my confidence back.
Keith Falp is a University Dean of Science and Technology. He discusses how normal it has become to rely on technology within everyday life.
It's difficult to say about how it will grow, because clearly the potential, I mean, right now we're still in a world which is just connected, so that we're connected by the fact that we could actually pick up a device, whereas there's a potential for moving towards much more embedding in terms of technology. You can inform people of their addictions. You could have interactive labels that tell people how they might actually be over a certain threshold or something. But you can also use that same technology to try and mitigate against it. So you can try and, for example, use technology or social networks in order to help people with their addictions. And so we think there are ways in which it can be treated. We're at the cusp of perhaps this being the last generation of humans who are not, to some extent, enhanced. Right? So there are lots of ethical considerations for that. You look up something if you want to find some information, but it could actually go straight to you in some enhanced form. And so there's a sense in which one of the things we're trying to understand is how much this is normal. I mean, what's normal?
We spoke to Luke Smith, a 21-year-old recruitment worker who became too obsessed with technology and forced himself to go offline.
I don't have Twitter, don't have Instagram, don't have Snapchat. I only had Facebook really, and now I don't even use that anymore. It feels good to not be on there anymore. So I stopped using social media because I felt like it was taking up a lot of my time. I felt that I could use that time to be doing something a little bit more productive, like I play guitar, I play drums, and that's a better use of my time. I also now use that time to read up news as well, look at current events, and I think that time's better used, educating myself and being productive, as opposed to being on social networking, looking at updates of friends where I could speak to them myself, really. It's just the little things that have changed, really. I feel that my attention span is a lot better. I feel like I can notice a little bit more about what's going on around me. I'm not always distracted by what's going on on my phone, on Facebook. I feel like I can concentrate a lot more at work. It was always easy to get distracted and look on your phone and to check to see what your friends are up to. But now that I don't have that, I feel like I can concentrate a lot more. I get a lot more work done.
Ryan Alley, a technology addiction researcher, has completed studies on the topic.
There isn't a formal definition for digital addiction. So we took a definition which is usage-oriented or usage-focused. We said a sort of problematic usage of technology characterized by properties like being excessive, obsessive, compulsive, impulsive, and hasty. Some research in the literature, they showed some sort of association between digital addiction or internet addiction and depression, disconnection from reality, some sort of reduced creativity, reduced social skills. They try to compensate online and they forget their in-person relations. So there are some association between them. We still do not have enough data to say whether the internet addiction is the cause for that, is the reason for that, or it is just an association between both. People after a certain age within our studies, they believe it is an addiction, while people who are around 18, they might think this is a new lifestyle.
It's not so much dependency, it's just how society works now.
Social media has become a source of validation when it shouldn't be.
People should spend less time trying to distract themselves on social media and just live in the moment.
Some people are too obsessed with it, it scares me.
We'd hardly be able to do anything without it. We'd end up going back to the dark ages and wouldn't be able to connect with anyone around the world.
It's creating a social divide between those who are tech-orientated and those who are not.
Communications watchdog Ofcom have revealed this year that young people between the ages of 16 and 24 spend more than 27 hours a week on the internet. How do you think this compares to your usage? Do you think you're dependent?